Hello, missus.
The little boy looks at you. He picks his nose.
You be careful. My daddy's a magister.
No, he's not. His daddy's a fisherman like most daddies round here. We were waiting for our friend. He went for a swim. He'll be back soon.
He went swimming all the way to Fort Happy.
Fort Joy?
That's what I said. Fort Joy. He's going to find his mum and bring her back. Cool. How did you know that?
Missus, have you seen our friend Joe?
Tell them the truth about Joe. They have to grow up sometime.
What they don't know can't hurt them. Don't tell them.
Telling them can't do any good at all. They don't need to know.
The children turn to each other, relieved.
See, Ben? I told you so. If Fort Joy wasn't nice, they'd come home to Driftwood.
Well, I guess so.
Thank you, lady. Now, if you don't mind, we're busy waiting for our friend.
Bye-bye, Mr. Lady Missus.
The kids turn back to the water. Ben picks his nose.
I wish I could swim.
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right.
Water looks
as long as I
nice.
don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
This fish is ugly.
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right as long as I don't think about it too much.
Joe's mum's smelling
You're
nice.
safe among friends. Never forget it.
I miss Joe. The water looks nice.
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
I wish I could swim.
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right as long as I don't.
Hackles raised, the dog barks at the sand built up beneath the building.
There's something not right, and that's wrong. It's under the house thing there, and it's bad. I can smell it. You be careful now. What's under there smells real bad. It smells evil.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Kind that don't fancy starving for the rest of this town. It's all well and good for you with your rations. We've got to take what we can get.
Keep talking, Wolf, and you let that bitchy sawdust from
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Queen Justinia executes 24 noblemen for insubordination!
You needing supplies? I'd stock up if I were you. It's madness out there. Never seen anything like it. Anything more?
Your fish stinks of the void. What kind of rat would sell such filth?
March against the ancient empire! Kind that don't fancy starving along with the rest of this town. It's all well and good for you with your rations. We've got to take what we can get.
Keep talking, Wolf, and you let that bitchy sawdust from a cell floor.
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it. Hear ye! Hear ye! Bishop Alexander was slain by Seekers! Culprit still at large!
Tell me, have you heard any news?
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Divine, you're here. Don't come over! What you buying anything?
I
They
yes,
don't
yes.
come visit your son. Who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Your fish stinks of the void.
How you
what
holding
kind of
up?
rat would sell such filth?
Not in any mood to talk about it. The kind that don't fancy starving along with the rest of this town. To march against the ancient It's all well and good for you with your rations. We've got to take what we can get.
Keep talking, Wolf.
Until later, then.
Go away, dwarf. Good day to you.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
My word, but you do look exhausted. I bet you could use a touch of magic. Have at it. Got yourself situated.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Your fish stinks of the void. What kind of rat would sell such filth?
kind that don't fancy starving, along with the rest
Keeping
of
it
this
together,
town.
Bree.
It's all
I'm
well
all
and
right,
good for you
as long
with
as I
your
don't think about
rations.
it too much.
We've got to take what we can get.
You're safe among friends.
Keep talking, dwarf,
Never
and you'll
forget
end up
it.
eating sawdust from a cell floor.
Yep.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Well, don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your tongue, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Have you anything that will protect against Voidwoken?
I can turn aside fire, cold and poison. But Voidwoken? God knows what'd stop those beasts.
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Latest news! Fresh from the War Owl! Hear all about it! Many a latest, my friend. The war, the bishop, the queen. What tickles your fancy? Ain't looking too good for them lizards. Word is, the Divine Order's gonna hit the ancient empire and hit it hard. Don't need to tell you, of all people, them sauce-loving lizards don't stand a chance. Ain't no one left standing when you treat them to death, Fog. Seven save us. Stabbed in the back he was, by them vile, low-born, treacherous seekers. Kill them all, I say. Do them like Magister Raymond did old Lady Seaver. That'll teach them traitors. I mean, they doomed us all, didn't they? The son of the Divine is dead. Gone. Who'll save us now? Jolly Justinia, Queen of the Dwarves. Ha! Scourge, more like. Here's 20 or so noble gentlemen. No one knows what they did wrong, if anything, and she has them stripped and whipped all the way to the execution grounds. Didn't even give them the dignity of the sword. No, ma'am. Had them all hung. Real slow-like. You ask me, and I say she's mad as a mink with its tail on fire. Queen or no queen.
Let it be known henceforth to each and every subject here and everywhere that, in the absence of our beloved Alexander, Bishop Divine, slain with malice and injustice by foul sorcerers, as were let fly by the perfidious lizards of the ancient empire, with the aid and abettancy of the treacherous dwarven kingdom, the Divine Order of Lucian is now led by his son's most trusted intimate and advisor, Dallis, Hammer of the Divine, Saviour of the Sorcerers, and new Deliverer of the peoples of Rivellon. The Hammer shall take counsel from her most trusted advisors. Hail to the Hammer, 7 times blessed.
Dallis leads the order. Lucian will be rolling in his grave.
The dead don't care. It's the living who should be fearful.
Magister Regional Headquarters and Jail, Driftwood.
Right away.
The Meister's back! The Meister's back! She doesn't feel like playing, but...
The Meistr sits slumped in a chair, looking around the room as she works her shoulder with one hand. It looks like it was dislocated by the gallows.
damnable red cloak baboons ransacking my wardrobes, as if I would keep ancient valuable secrets in a pile with my unmentionables.
She takes a deep breath, and with a twist, a click, and a screech of pain, she shoves her shoulder back into its socket.
I swear by the seven, if we did not have more important matters to attend to.
Reaching across the table, she pulls a bowl of hot water towards her and fishes some bandages, a needle, and thread out of a box. She slowly starts to tend to her wounds.
At least the barbarians were unable to club their way into my vault, so everything you need should be safe. Apparently I had a claw in murdering their darling divine-in-waiting Alexander.
The Meistr wrenches the bandage, pulling the fabric tight against her wound. She winces before tying it off in a neat knot, but you can see the red stain already spreading across the fabric.
Never mind that. That I was here the entire time. Apparently my cunning transcends time, space, and common sense.
Meistr Siva freezes, her eyes locked on you, her claws mid-swipe, cutting a new stretch of bandage.
Why on earth should I have thought anything else? Not that I was sorry to hear about his death. I doubt my grin helped matters during the interrogation. Enthusiasm? On a weekday? My word. We shall begin once we have the tools we need from my vault. You may have been chosen Godwoken, but becoming divine requires more than a supernatural pat on the head. Come, Godwoken. It is time to see just how awake you are. Fortunately, the Magistrate pay as much attention to art as they do to fashion. Kindly remove that painting from the wall. I pray my instructions will not be too technical for you. Your talent push the button. Now, kindly go to the vault and
A stone door lies flush with the floorboards. Etched whorls in the granite frame a delicate rotary dial. Gleaming under the dim light, the metallic dial almost seems to wink at you. Taking your time, you carefully enter the combination. The metallic sounds of the tumblers falling within the mechanism let you know you entered the code correctly.
Excellent. Follow me. Your time is at hand, Godwoken.
Ancient runes. Weird contraptions. This place is an arcanist's dream.
The Meistr is examining her wounds, prodding at this, wincing at that. Her face seems grim as she turns to you.
Do you know what it means to have the power of the divine, Godwoken? Just so. To accept divinity is to accept responsibility for the lives of every person and beast that walks Rivellon. If granted divinity, you would have the power of all 7 gods at your disposal. You could heal any wound, pull islands from the sea, right any injustice. But make no mistake, the Divine has only one duty: to protect this world from the Void. The Divine cannot use her power for anything else. Very well, then. Let's see if we can't snatch divinity from the jaws of the Void. The ritual itself is quite simple. Drop some blackroot in the bowl, mix in a little blood, set the concoction aflame, and then inhale the smoke. Ignore any feelings of dizziness, burning in your lungs, or a dire sense of existential dread. They're all perfectly normal, although you will need to sacrifice a little sauce along the way. Everything you need is here. Ingredients in the cupboard, sauce in the glowing fountain, ritual in the tome by the bookcase, even an incinerator to provide a flame.
The Meistr looks back at her wounds, curiously prodding them as fresh blood oozes out, staining her claws.
Quite. Mind you, being torn asunder by a Voidwoken would be even more inconvenient. So if you wouldn't mind...
The Meistr points sharply to the ingredients cupboard.
And do not lose anything. These ingredients are rare indeed. I'm not hiking back out to the Cloisterwood to fetch you more blackroot.
Opening the door, you see a selection of ingredients, thrown together in no particular order. After a quick rummage, you spot the blackroot nestled between the grated dragon's tongue and drudene oil. You gather up the blackroot, obsidian lance, and ancient bowl, and kick the door of the cupboard closed. As you suck the smoke deep into your lungs, your vision starts to swim and cloud. There is an intense pounding in your head, and you can feel the world fading. As the world fades away, you lose all sense of being grounded. You reach out, but you could feel yourself falling slowly, sinking into the depths of your own soul.
Deepest recess of my soul. But it looks like the Hall of Echoes.
Bathed in the half-light of these starless barrens, you spot a figure you could only describe as a second self. It looks haggard and weak, its very voice but a feeble echo of your own.
My chosen, come. Come closer, so that you may see me as I truly am. You will see when you look me in the eyes.
The apparition clasps your face in its shaking hands. You suddenly feel your eyes tingle. Everything becomes brighter, sharper. Blacks and whites become glorious bursts of color, then fade back into their accustomed spectrum.
Blind eyes, shine brightly. Speak the spell, and see.
Gone is the strange mirror image of yourself. Before you stands the god Tyr in all his spectral glory.
You know me, don't you? I saved you from drowning. I blessed you, made you powerful, and now I've come to seek some power in return. Your Godwoken soul is my last refuge, my last bastion. May as well make the best of what you have to offer.
Tyr nourishes himself from the source that abounds in your presence. You feel it deep down inside yourself.
Ah, yes. Just what I needed. I tell you, dying just doesn't become a god. The void itself is hunting down the gods, leeching us in ways we never thought possible. Droplet by droplet, we are being drained. We're battling for our very survival. It's a battle we're losing, and should we truly lose, all will be cast into oblivion. To save us both, as a matter of fact. You must realize that our fates are now as one, just as our souls are now as one. We are I. Together we are a force to be reckoned with. But if we seek to survive the onslaught of the Void, we stand no chance unless we become vastly more powerful than we are now. That means there is but one place we can go. The Well of Ascension. It most certainly will be. The Well of Ascension is a lake, a pool of pure source in which the powers of the Seven lie united. We gave them up freely to create the first divine. Each of us donated half of that which makes us gods. To bathe in the lake is to become our chosen. That is where the road to divinity leads, and you must be the first to reach it at all costs. I know. Or did you think I chose you for those pretty eyes alone? One must never enter into any endeavor, though, without realizing the stakes. The Void is stronger than ever. A new divine won't be enough. You need to go to the Well of Ascension, not to bathe in the source of the Seven, but to take it. All of it. Only she who claims everything will be everything. The Void's doom, this world's liberator. It's very simple, really. They will either bow to you, or be undone. But of course that is what they are saying to their own Godwoken as we speak. We both know they won't bow, just like we both know you will never bow to them. Only one can become a god strong enough to safeguard our world. One, at the expense of all others. So make no mistake, my champion. Chances are, the road to divinity will be paved with dead gods. Their blood on your murderous hands. But don't let that dismay you, for these sins will be washed clean by the knowledge you committed them to save all of existence. To save your kin, and your loved ones, and the world they live in. They will be at your mercy, which is vastly preferable to you being at theirs, wouldn't you agree? So fret not, but revel in the promise of the lake. I will lead you there when you are ready, when you've become a true master of the Source, and speak the language of creation itself. Our journey will be fraught with peril. It is a pilgrimage of challenges that will require you to command Source like only a Godwoken can, and wield its most powerful spells.
Hoarse laughter rolls and echoes into infinity.
Perhaps. But what is a pilgrimage after all, if not a journey of atonement, in search of enlightenment? Focus not on death and irony, my chosen. On life and ascension instead. We are I now. The spells you need to know I will teach you when you are ready. But first, you must learn to channel the Source in greater volumes. That is why you need to seek masters of the Source. You must make them teach you, so that you may become a master in turn. So return to Rivellon and seek out these sages where they dwell. Convince them to share with you their deep-seated bond with the Source. Once you have, you may return to me here. Something that will make you understand that for a god, there is precious little difference between the living and the dead. Source is. It is a constant, a subject of neither time nor transience. All of life is Source, and in Source it is, immortally so. You have the vision of a god now. Eyes that can see spirits, the souls of the dead made manifest in Source. Speak the spell during your peregrinations and you will see them. Where the dead lie, the dead linger. And so much more. But I'm no longer who I once was, bound to you as I've become. I will teach you what I can, but the knowledge that will expand the bounds of your soul, that you'll have to hunt for yourself. Best of luck, my champion.
A man's spirit stands before you, clad in scholarly dress. When your eyes meet, he staggers back, terrified.
Sweet Armadia, why do you test your chronicler so, haunting me with spirits? Am I cursed? Has the goddess turned her back on me?
The chronicler shudders, looking sick to his stomach.
Again. This again. I sleep, then I wake, and another piece of the world is gone. The Empress. It was her. It was that armor. I died for it, and now I'm trapped here. I died. Oh, Armadia. Why can't I escape? Why is there never a way out? Me? I archived Rivellon's history. I used ink to immortalize greatness on the page. A lizard empress sought my services. She needed an ancient design restored from a damaged text. She told me the design was brilliant. When the armor was forged, the Empress showed it to me, and she trapped me inside. Consumed me. If it wasn't for me, the armor wouldn't exist at all. This is my fault. If I knew the way, I'd shout until every god heard me. But I have no idea. I simply want this to end.
The chronicler puts his head in his hands, collapsing in silent defeat. The Meistr stares intently at you. Her eyes are tired and bruised, but determined.
Still alive? Gods above, there might be something to you after all.
She leans in, her bloody tongue flickering hungrily about your face.
Tell me, what did you see? What you know?
The Meister's eyes flash with fury, but she holds her tongue and steps back.
You are not a pile of ash, so the ritual was a success, albeit partially. You had all the material requirements, so I can only assume your source was lacking. That is unfortunate. Indeed not. And ever more difficult when you've been purged. I was a master of source once, but no longer. The Magisters saw to that. The river of my source has been dammed. My link to the font from which it flows, severed. So we must seek alternatives. Alas, the only source masters not yet hauled off to Fort Joy or turned into meat puppets are those too dangerous or cunning for the Magisters to contain. Sorcerers that allowed their power to corrupt them. Many are wicked, cruel, vile, and generally not good teacher material, but we may have no others to turn to. Were the circumstances any different, I would indeed agree. However, it is the path we walk, no matter what the cost. No matter what is asked of you.
The Meistr doubles over in a violent coughing fit, struggling for breath. After a few moments, she regains her composure, wiping a thin smear of blood from the corner of her mouth.
No matter what is asked of you, you must learn from them. And you do not seem to be paying attention. Sorcerers, evil, controlling your source, saving Rivellon, please. Please tell me at least some of this rings a bell. Your focus, your only focus, must be on finding these masters, on finding the secrets to divinity. Nothing else matters. The Magisters have kept ledgers with all known sorcerers, especially the powerful ones not yet captured. They would be an invaluable resource. But do be careful not to get caught. I was their guest for a time. And I promise you the gallows was the most comfortable part of the experience. And if their barracks turns out to be as empty as their skulls, just try to keep an ear to the ground. There may still be powerful sorcerers hiding in these lands.
As she speaks, one of her wounds reopens, a dark red stain spreading across her tunic. She hisses in frustration and starts to bind the gash.
I wish there was more I could do, but in this condition, I would be more a hindrance than a boon. Godspeed, and remember, do whatever it takes.
The spirit of an elegant elven woman materializes before you. She seems surprised.
You can see me. A Godwoken in my presence. You honor me. I am the Meister's apprentice. I study under her, but I do not learn. I hear tales of the ritual, of what lies beyond. Such wonders, such powers. I decide to pursue them myself. Meistr tells me it cannot happen, that I am not Godwoken. But in my heart, I know I'm special. I try. I burn the root. I breathe the smoke and it burns me back. No air fills my lungs, only fire. When the darkness falls, I cannot cry out. I leave my life behind with a shameful whimper.
The spirit looks at you regretfully.
It is hard to hear of such power and not covet it for yourself. I lie to myself and convince myself that I am special. But I am not special. I am dead.
Not much of a landlubber, but sometimes I get no choice in the matter. Besides, there's business to take care of.
Well now, how's my favorite Godwoken?
His eyes glitter as he stands tall to tell the story, hands waving expressively. You can see it's a story he's used to telling, one he enjoys weaving for an audience.
So, underneath the tavern in Driftwood, there's a place I feel right at home. A delightful little hive of scum and villainy. A few months back, I was relaxing down there after a job. Just a hint of Drudenay. You know, a hint. All of a sudden, a tiger prowls in. I jump up, but everyone else is just ignoring it. And then he picks up my scent. His eyes turn blue, and he leaps to pounce on me, a fury of claws and teeth. I flip the table and start scrambling for my crossbow, nowhere to be found, and by now, the tiger's right on top of my eyeballs. So I do the only thing I can think of. I summon Afrit, my soul wolf. And now everybody reacts, screaming, scrambling around, pelting for the stairs, drinks flying everywhere. And that pesky tiger? Nowhere to be seen. Turns out it was Drudenay messing with me. Stronger stuff than I'm used to. Also turns out some people don't appreciate spectral wolves tearing up the place. So some people called magisters on me. Well, it's guarded by a grouchy-seeming dwarf named of Papa Thrash. But he's a real sweetheart once you get to know him. I love that password of his. Open minds and closed fists. I'm from the deserts of Meistr originally. My parents died when I was very young, no more than a cub. They were spice merchants, killed by bandits as we were trading on the forest roads. The elves nearby saved me afterwards. They found me hiding in a wagon and they took me in.
Ifan bites his lip, hard enough to draw blood.
They were my home until I was old enough to join the Order. Mother Melody always said I'd have a hard life. She saw it as fact, since I was born under the waxing moon. Ah, a lively one. Generous and high-spirited. I've been striving my whole life to prove mine wrong. To, zero success. So far. For sure. Always carry a snack.
Ifan reaches into his tunic pocket and pulls out a strip of dried raw meat. He takes a tiny bite and offers the rest to you.
Now, what else do I have to share?
Ifan rummages around the roll-down tops of his boots and grins in victory as he plucks a single mushroom from the folds.
Aha.
He hands you the mushroom with great ceremony, bowing as he holds it aloft. Ifan smiles and looks around before reaching high into his sleeve and pulling out a tiny herbal wrap. The unmistakable scent of Drudene hits you as he holds it out to you.
The last weapon in the Lone Wolf arsenal. You know, for after the toughest jobs.
He winks and tips his fingers to his temples before loping off.
What?